You want to take a picture of your pen now?
We'll let you open this one.
Stay righteous. So, what's up, everybody? Today, I'm going to be giving you guys a story time, and this is something that is from a recent event in which I had been surprised from my girlfriend, and she did a really good job of taking me to the Haunted Museum. And for those of you who don't know what the Haunted Museum is, the Haunted Museum is owned by Zach Bagans. He's a ghost adventurer. He's the owner of the group Ghost Adventures. And if you're fans of that show and you've ever been to this place or you've ever even heard of it, you're gonna fucking love this video. So first off, I just want to start off by saying, as soon as we fucking got there, I could feel the energy from outside of the walls. You could feel this eerie vibe from just standing outside and being in line. You get to talk to, Spooky Joe. There's a lot of people who mention him in the reviews, because we looked up the reviews and everything. We wanted to see what everybody had to say, things of that sort, right? So we're waiting in line. The time comes for us to go inside, okay? And when you go inside, you get to see a picture. I'm gonna put clips of videos in here to show you guys, what was there, just from the beginning part of it, though. So you walk in and you get to see a picture. You see a picture of Zach Bagans with Post Malone. You see him with two other people. I think there was even a picture with him and Vanilla Ice as well. You look around, there's this fortune teller that's in the front, but it's out of order. There is a display case of all kinds of dolls. And I got close to the shelf and started getting a fucking flashing white face in front of me. So much heavy fucking energy just in the first room. So I knew, I was already experiencing shit just in the lobby. This is the lobby that you wait in when you get to use the bathroom and everything. And you wait until you get invited in and you can actually go in once you have your tickets. So we're in this big ass group. There's probably about 17 or 18 of us. My girlfriend and I were recording and everything. I had to step away from the shelf because my headache got so bad that I felt like I was about to pass out. So we walked out and we're being guided to walk into the mansion. We go in the mansion and we enter into the room that has some of Anton LaVey's ritual items, some daggers, actually a pact with Lucifer. That's right there. It's a pact of love, I guess. There is a bunch of clowns, a bunch of dolls, and a machine that has Zach's voice recorded into it, in which if you give $1, you can get this card that gives you a hint about one of the attractions, which is pretty cool. So it kind of had me excited because every single thing that was happening that night was in fact directly related to things that I fucking loved. So first of all, there was a surprise for my girlfriend. So it was like, it had me thinking, did you plan this? How did you do this? How did you pull all this together? But then I realized when the time comes and it's the perfect time, and if it's going to happen, that shit's going to happen. Now, I definitely believe in perfect fucking timing because I got to be first with every single thing that I wanted to do. I got to be the first to enter into the rooms. I got to knock onto the doors to bring forward the spirits. I got to, even communicate with Peggy. But I'll get further into that after I talk about, this first room. So I got invited to go into this secret room, and Zach lets, I guess, one of the first people that They can go into the secret room, and it's a room full of fucking dolls. They're all on the shelves and everything. I enter in this room, and I just hear child laughter immediately. I didn't really say anything about this because I didn't know what the fuck to think of it, but a child started laughing in my head. Then 2 more children were laughing. So I'm just like, what the fuck, you know? I'm kind of reacting to this like, what the hell? But while I'm distracted by this laughter, a fucking little person comes out of these dolls and fucking scares the shit out of me and the girl that got to walk into there. So she's like, and she's fucking tiny. I mean, extremely small. So I'm just like, holy fuck, it was insane. And we walk out. That's when I got to get the card from the machine. We're being guided through, and we get introduced to another doll. I forgot her name though, but they were telling us about how she, her name was Anne. Sorry, it just came to mind. Another doll in which she had come there, and when she first got there, she knocked one of the pictures off of the wall that had originally never been moved. So they were, making jokes like, we were guessing she made herself at home. They showed us a picture of a physical anomaly that had manifested because of the doll being within that place. We walked into another room, and this was the next room in which we were shown actual real skeletons of the deceased, because Zach actually has real fucking skeletons in there. There was a skeleton in the coffin, and I thought this part was really fucking cool because another thing that I actually got to do, I actually got to sit in the seat in which I didn't even know. It's like it completely aligned for me. I didn't even know that Vanilla Ice had sat in the exact seat that I was sitting in, okay? And upon entering into this room, my fucking abilities are so open. I'm so open to this stuff that immediately after entering this room, before I even sat down, I saw an apparition to the right side. Now, my girlfriend, she saw an apparition at the front door when we first walked in. I sat down in the chair, and the chair immediately started vibrating. And I asked my girl, did she feel anything else? And I was the only one that was experiencing this. Well, the lady took it a step further in inviting me up to gaze into the eyes of this skeleton. And after gazing into the eyes, I looked up, and I was actually able to see the apparition of the man whose skeleton this was, which was a definite fucking confirmation that this was actually a skeleton of the deceased. I had felt an energy, and I saw a white presence, a white energy, an orb there at first. But once I gazed into the eyes, I actually got to see who it was. So this room was basically dedicated to a secret society that initiated their members and helped them basically afford burial. People would come to the funerals, and they would recruit them in these burials. And I thought it was pretty fucking trippy. So we reported, that we were experiencing these things, these energies, and the guy kind of started freaking out. But who's not going to freak out when it comes to shit like that? So we go into the next room, and the next room is the room of one of the career fucking criminal doctors, in which tortured, beat, and mutilated and drawn pictures of his murders. Okay. In this room, they showed us a video of a girl who was with her sister that started experiencing paranormal activity, and her sister fainted. She told her that felt like she was lightheaded and that she was gonna faint, and that's exactly what started happening. Now, before we even watched this video, I had started feeling lightheaded from the start. Then we watched the video, and it was confirmation to what the hell I was feeling. Okay, so I kind of started slightly in my head doing a banishing ritual protection, pushing that energy away, and it helped me. It just makes me think like, damn, there's people who come there that don't practice any of this stuff, that really get attacked and are affected by this shit, and don't have the luxury of actually being able to use a banishing ritual. It makes me super fucking grateful for being so well versed in this stuff. Anyway, we got to go into another room in which I knocked on the door, went into this room, and we got to see the van where this guy actually committed his murders, where he actually did lethal injections in their bodies and killed them, where he assisted suicide, where he pushed toxic gas into their, in basically carbon monoxide, poisoned them through an oxygen mask and killing them. And this was the real fucking van, not a replica. So you could literally see like blood stains. You could see, you could see how old this fucking thing was. It was rusted out. We left out of this room, and while we were walking down the hallway, a black mass, a black apparition in a robe is standing there just looking at me. I see it from my peripheral, so I'm like, okay, this is actually a real apparition. The only other people that were right there was myself and the people that were behind me, because I was first in the line. Okay, we walked into the next room, in which they had pictures of Charles Manson, O.J. Simpson. They had a lot of convicted felons for fucking killing, for mass murdering, actually, being serial killers. Even John Wayne Gacy's picture there. They had daggers from real helter-skelter murders. They even had Charles Manson's handprint and blood on a paper on display. And I guess people had experiences there in which they touched it, because they allow you to touch that picture. This room felt completely normal to me. This was the odd part about this entire fucking tour, is the fact that once we walked into this room, this was the room that was the most clear. There was absolutely no fucking signs of energy or paranormal activity, which is crazy because the entire mansion is fucking haunted. So we leave out of this room and we go down this hallway, in which we see another pact, where I guess it was from a client of Anton LaVey's, and it was a pact for love for an individual, one of his clients from long ago. There was also a ritual dagger, another one there, and another one on the side of it as well. There were also 2 human skulls that were in the display case as well. In the beginning of the tour, there were 6 human skulls also that were taken from, I think, Murder House. I'm not sure. I don't want to be quoted on that because I'm not exactly sure on it. We went into another room, and this room was the room in which one of the owners of the Titanic was given a mirror. Okay, I guess it was the captain, and it was the real mirror of the captain of the Titanic, in which they had retrieved when he had given it away. So they were passing it down from generation to generation. So it was kind of like an heirloom, and this thing ended up there. So they allow you to go and scry into the mirror, and it fucking was actually really fucking eerie, because you can see you can actually see an apparition of the captain in the picture. So they have a picture there, which kind of might not do justice, because that might, influence you to see him, but I actually saw him in the mirror. So it was weird, because you can't see him because the glass isn't reflective, if that makes sense. So there was no way of actually being able to explain why the fuck I actually saw him in the mirror. We went into another room in which we were shown and introduced to the Dybbuk box. For those of you who have heard of the Dybbuk box or are fans of Ghost Adventures, this thing was fucking crazy. We walked into the room and you could feel the energy pulsating in the room. It was like a palpitation of the energy. It was so heavy in there. I couldn't wait to get out, because it was so fucking just concentrated. It was just a concentration of dark mass of energy. Now, if you're not going to be using this energy, why the fuck stand in it? And that's the reason why I wanted to leave. This is the same box that Post Malone and, Zach Bagans were doing a ritual with, in which Post Malone had touched and gotten robbed, fucking totaled his car and almost died. Even I think he even had a plane crash. I'm not exactly sure. So this shit was crazy to me. And we walked out of that room. We went into another room, which had Peggy the Doll. Now, from the accounts and countless times that I've heard of people walking into Peggy the Doll's room, there is not a single piece of communication that some people have had. They have never even heard the box. The spirit box went fucking crazy when my girlfriend and I walked into this room. We heard purse, we heard, don't be afraid. I told Peggy, thank you for allowing us to, reside in the same space as you, because I wanted to show respect to the spirits or the demonic entities that were attached to these fucking items. As an occultist, I'd love to fucking communicate with spirits, but I'm gonna be respectful in the matters, So after I did my greeting, everyone said hello, but after I did my greeting, the spirit box started going fucking insane, okay? I shit you not. We started hearing so much going on. We started getting so much activity in that room, and I saw a presence just stand in front of me and tell me to not be afraid. Even after I had heard to not be afraid from the spirit box, my heart was pulsating because I could feel this heaviness in this room. It was so heavy in there. All of a sudden, after I heard "Do not be afraid," I just calmed down. Everything was so calm. It was beautiful. It felt so nice. I felt like something came through and was guiding me to calm down, protecting me. Now, I've heard so many people have a negative experience after, communicating and walking into that room with Peggy. But for myself, I can't say that I had a negative. I had actually a very positive experience. It makes me curious to know what happened with the people who were fucking laughing in there and not taking it serious, because there have been people in the past who have gotten bad luck from just going into the room and not taking the situation seriously. But that happens with all the dumbasses who don't take the occult seriously and they want to fuck with shit that they have no business fucking with. So anyway, we went into one more, room, in which was fucking weird. And this room was Demon House. Now, Demon House, before we got there was a blue orb that followed us from the room with the mirror of the captain of the Titanic. There was a blue orb that followed us down the hallway. A long blue orb that was just sitting. It was just in the hallway waiting for us. As we passed by, it followed us and went into another room. We actually got to go see I forgot what this was. It was actually a skull of some sort of a human. And you get to go in this room and you get to look into the eyes of it. Before that, they let us go into a room that was dedicated to the crying boy. The image of the crying boy that is said to cause fires, is said to be the only thing that is still not touched. There was also a mirror from, I want to say it was a mirror that was from a famous movie. I don't exactly remember what mirror it was though, but there was a famous painting from Silent Hill as well. That was the real painting that got cut. And this painting was said to, cause, traumatic events to happen, cause spiritual attacks, even possession, people to pass out, massive headaches, which I got a headache when I was around it. I also got scratched on my neck, so that was really fucking cool to experience, After scrying into the mirror, because they allow you to scry into this mirror, I was then presented with an apparition in front of me as well. And it was a man with a very thick gray mustache that actually was one of the killers that was on display in the museum. So that was pretty fucking gnarly to experience as well. After that, I had then, you know, been taken with the group down this hallway with a bunch of fucking clowns, which was really fucking funny. And they scared the shit out of everybody, but I love clowns. I fucking love clowns. If I could take the astral form of a fucking clown or a jester, that is what I would do. Like, this is the epitome of what my energy would be if, you know, if in fact I was to create an astral body of myself, a fucking clown. But it would be with the black and white, you know, kind of Masonic colors. I fucking love those colors. That's how I would look. So we walk into this room in which is dedicated to Demon House. And Demon House is a house that Zach bought in, I want to say, Michigan, in which they conducted investigations and confirmed that it was highly, highly fucking haunted. Not only that, but there was possession of children there that caused events that were inexplicable, in which one of the children ran up the wall backward. That it traumatized one of the social workers so much that it made her quit. It made everybody else kind of want to not talk about it. One of the other children that was within that house as well, just when she came in to be interviewed by Zach, tried to kill herself a few days later. There was a lot of shit that had happened. When we went in there was one girl in the group that was so calm throughout the entire tour. She bursted out in fucking tears and fell to the floor, was so fucking scared. This room scared the fuck out of her. She was like, get me out of here. I don't want to be in here. There's a presence in here that is dark, which fascinated me because it was just more confirmation of, damn, this shit's happening, you know, this is the real fucking deal. In the end, I can most definitely say this place is the real fucking deal, because in Demon House, in that room, I just saw a weird creature, a goat-like creature standing there. They actually have the stairs in which they found the items, the ritual items that were buried for fucking years. Even sacrificial tools and a pact that was there, that was buried, and they had the stairs. They had a baby there, and there was a girl that myself and my girlfriend even saw that was twisted, the twisted girl walking down the stairs. Her neck was crooked, her body was crooked. She walked down the stairs and kind of run up to you. We saw this, you know, in our third eyes. And it was pretty fucking crazy. We left out, and our experience was, to say the least, phenomenal. For those of you who are fans of it, or if you ever go to Vegas, I highly recommend going to that fucking museum. Everyone has different experiences. This is just mine. I can personally say that I believe that shit's haunted. I have enough evidence to definitely to prove that. You know, and I don't even need to prove it to anybody. I just need to prove it to myself. That shit's haunted as fuck. There's so many apparitions, so many spirits there, so many means of communication, so much physical contact, and so much confirmation of spirits touching people and physically manipulating reality that it made me happy, because I fucking love things like that. I'm obsessed with shit like that. I hope you guys enjoy this video. And those of you who watch this video that have had experiences, please tell me about your experiences, because mine were amazing. I want to hear about you guys's. Thank you.